Hello, and welcome to this REL 6, REL 7 div review. This is going to be week 3 preview, so we'll look at what we did, what we predicted last week, etc. And
bright red beer. Do you see this?
Do you have red beer? I also have red beer.
Is your beer as red as mine?
Mine's more pink, I guess, but it's pretty goddamn red.
This is like a sour made with raspberries, so it's incredibly red.
I have a let's see, what is this? I have a sour made with cranberry, hibiscus, and rose hip and pomegranate.
That is, yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, so shall we just jump right into it, I guess?
Sure. Are we starting with the schedule? I know I just asked this, but I don't listen to you when you talk.
Yeah. Well, why don't we look at... I know some of the games have already been played, so why don't we try to look at what happened last week.
So in Div 6, there are still 2 unplayed games, and the Div isn't rolled.
Well, there we go. So, like, first things first, I guess, is to look at these results and score ourselves, I suppose.
Yeah, I will pull up our scoring sheet.
So first we have All Orc and No Play, which just has not occurred yet, so nothing there.
I think we knew, we thought this wasn't going to... Oh.
Yeah, we thought it wasn't going to be a thing that happened.
Right.
This is called Pucker Up. Yep. It's by Garrison Brewing. It's a local brewery in my city.
Sounds good.
It's really good.
And mine is by Judicial, which is another local brewery. It's God of the Sky in French.
Yeah, so that's a thing that didn't happen. We assumed it might not have, but we made predictions anyway, just in case, I think. So then we had the Vamps versus Underworld game, and I predicted Underworld, and you predicted Vamps, and the Vamps won. So chalk 2 up for you, I guess.
Yeah.
So the results, we got an MVP on a Vamp that leveled, so we'll check him out when we get to the teams. But it was 2-0. Looks like the Vamps mostly just had the ball in control, and the Underworld couldn't quite get a hold of it and escape. Didn't have it for very long.
So I get +2 and you get -1, right? That's the deal?
Yeah, it's a 3-point swing, which is kind of weird, but whatever. It's too late now. We've already started.
I just want to keep it now because it bothers you.
That one Vamp got 14 SPP that game.
Really huge. I mean, you love Vamps.
Yeah, he went from level 0 to level 2, right?
I don't think so, because he already had block in this.
Yeah, he got 14, so he went from 8 SPP to 22.
Yep.
Still a lot. Hufflepuff Heroes and Respectable Gents was a 2-1 for Hufflepuff Heroes.
And we predicted the Khemri.
So it's 2 points for both of us. We got a Tomb Guardian with MVP, which is nice. Doesn't level him or anything. And an Injured Beastman that got one, sadly.
Was it just a normal? Yeah, it's fine.
Just looked like badly hurt.
It was just badly hurt, yeah.
2 touchdowns, 17 armor breaks.
Yeah, a lot of SPP for the Khemri.
Yeah.
10, 15.
5 casualties, 1
19.
death, and 6 KOs were sustained by the chaos. So I believe that's...
It's worth noting the Khemri did not inflict a death, so that means the chaos... Oh, I think I heard about this. They sustained a death to like a GFI.
Well, I mean, that would explain those results, right? Khemri just bullying around the chaos. Chaos don't have a whole lot of skills yet. Difficult for them to counter the bullying.
Yep.
We are both big fans of interesting beer. Yep.
I'm going on another beer pilgrimage next month to Vermont, actually.
Then we have Fogmire Fen Beasts and the Elements of Style. So we predicted in this one that the Wood Elves would win.
And they did.
3-1. Wood Elves doing Wood Elf things. Looks like they just sort of ran all over the Lizards. Lizards couldn't really get much of the ball. Wood Elves just sort of scooped it up, scored. 132 running yards.
It's a really tough matchup for Lizards in general.
Although the Wood Elves sustained 7 casualties and a death in their 3-1 win.
Yeah, that's pretty Wood Elfy. It's amazing that the Lizards caused so much damage. I mean, they did have some Mighty Blow. I think this is actually the team that stacked Mighty Blow a bit, so...
Yeah, there's a lot of decent amount of SPP for the Lizards, even though they lost. Just kind of nice.
The tree MVP is really good. That levels it up.
Yeah,
so
we'll get to see what he picked up
grab.
in a bit.
Spoilers, it's grab.
Dead Wrestler
That makes
Society.
sense.
And 2 points for both of us there, I guess.
Yep. And then we have a tie, so we get no points.
No points for anybody. We both predicted that the Dwarves would win. Or no, this is a different match. What am I looking at?
This is the story of a girl.
This is the Lizards and Norse, right?
We predicted the Lizards.
Yeah, and they tied, so nobody gets anything. 1-1. Skink MVP, which does level the skink.
It's a skink. No one
cares. The Norse looks like they basically had the game in their pockets, and something happened to prevent them from winning. Is what my because like the Dead Wrestler Society sustained 58 blocks, 4 casualties, 5 KOs. Looks like the Great Cold Ones kind of bullied the Lizards around, but the Lizards managed to do skinky things and steal a touchdown somewhere to tie that up. Or maybe they went up 1-0 early, and then the Norse didn't get casualties until the end and couldn't do the 2-1 grind. But either way. We've got foul targets and average race Joes. So this is a Lizards and Wood Elf, where you predicted the Wood Elves and I predicted the Lizards. And that is a Lizard win. So we are sort of neutral in this round, considering you predicted a win that I didn't get and I predicted a win that you didn't get.
See, it all works out in the end.
Yep. MVP level for a skink. MVP for a loner lineman, which is an injured loner lineman for that matter. So that's kind of annoying. Oh, and the player was not found, so he didn't stick around.
No, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Might not have had the money to buy him back. I think I heard Jeff talking about this game, just like couldn't get anything done.
Yeah, 4 casualties sustained, 4 KOs sustained, 3 casualties, 1 death, 3 KOs.
Died,
yeah, difficult. Looks like Jeff just got kind of beaten into submission a little bit and couldn't score enough before he had too few players to make it easy to continue scoring.
And then Dwarves versus Lizards did not get played. Come on, guys, not playing your games.
Yeah, it's a little annoying. Well, so
oh, I know, I heard about this one actually.
We predicted a win for Dwarves here, but we don't know what's going to happen. This is what the leaderboard looks like.
So far, we're both at 7, plus 7 for this one.
Currently, we've got MyStays and the Elements of Style in first with 2 wins, and a lot of other people with 1-0 and 1 records. Dead Wrestler Society are
one person was it was 1-1.
So already separating a little bit, even only 2 weeks into this. Shall we teams?
Yeah, let's look at the teams. Starting with the Dead Wrestler Society, Draenar's team, who's Drenar.
Yeah.
Who's in chat?
1820 Lizards.
Pretty hefty Lizards.
1820 Lizards with an MNG at 100k skink. So that's 1920 Lizards. That's some serious lizarding. Guard, block, Crocs.
You can see why, yeah. I mean, the guard, block, stand firm, Croxagore is basically perfect.
Yeah.
At that point,
so
you just really want to double for, like, dodge.
Yeah, or even pro maybe to reroll those boneheads, but like at this point it's just greed, right? Like this player is great. Anything more just makes him even greater, regardless of what you take, really. Yep. Mini Dr.
Rogue
Robert.
Warrior Hawk, the Niggled Mini Dr. Robert is unfortunate. I really don't like Mighty Blow as a second skill after Strength Up. I think Strength Up's basically spells second Croxagore. I have a Blitzer that's Strength 5, but he got Blitzer skills first, so that kind of dictated it. I would have liked to see that block and then guard, just to make him more reliable.
I think the big thing here, though, is that
really helps or hurts, though.
How many matches has this guy played? He's played 33, which is a lot, but is that like similar to the other Lizards?
Yeah, I think it's
34. Yeah, the only thing I'd consider is that like you want to get him like all of the other Lizards are way more developed than he is. The Mighty Blow helps him develop faster and catch up. Is certainly a thing that matters. And that's where Pro would help Drenar. Bunch of good Saurus. solid Saurus. Guard block, break tackle. Another one of those. Yep. Blodge tackle, but movement busted kind of sucks, but blodge tackle's real good.
Yep. I'd like to see him again go guard on this piece. Blotch tackle guard is a fine piece, and at movement 5, you're not going to really use him as a blitzer. So.
Mr. Perfect is begging for a murdering though. That Agi 4 armor 6 skink.
Yeah, the injuries are a bit annoying. But yeah, still like pretty solid. I'd probably look to ditch one of these diving tackle skinks soon. You're getting pretty bloaty.
A lot of that is on the Saurus though.
Not really. I mean,
yeah,
like
I suppose
half of it is on the Saurus. There's a lot of skink SPP here.
Those Saurus are really good though. There's a lot of good control stuff you can do with that many block break tackle guard Saurus.
Yep. I think I said this before. I wish one of them would stand firm, but like still. Really
Yeah,
good Saurus.
I mean, Captain Lou Albano can get it soon.
He can indeed.
Shall we take a look at another lizard team? Fogmire Fenbeast by Rolling Red?
Yes.
Players in the wrong order, sadly.
-50 points. Another good Croc score. Guard stand firm.
It doesn't have block yet, but you know, what can you do? We can't all be whatever that Croc score's name was.
Heavy mighty blow spam. Again, unusual for lizards. I'd really like to see this AV8 one get fired. I think.
What about the AV10 one?
The AV10 one pass.
AV10 is an interesting one. It's kind of funny. I like it.
I don't think it's worth the TV.
I don't think it's worth the TV either, but I like it. I think it's funny.
AV or movement are worth the TV. On lizards, movement 6 is perfectly fine.
But that's 2 Blodgesaurus. 2. One of them is Blodge Guard.
Stand firm is the best skill, Jeff. You're wrong.
Stand firm is so good. We have a great, 2 great Blitzersaurus with block, mighty blow, tackle, frenzy, and one of them has pro. Those are some scary Saurus. The frenzy one could probably a Juggernaut and have even more good times.
Yeah, I would think. I mean, they both have frenzy, which is a bit unusual. But one of them, the one that does not have pro, should probably get Juggernaut for better surfing.
Yeah, you get one on. You can have that way. You have a threat on either side, though. And we talked about this last time.
Yeah. I mean, it makes some amount of sense. I don't love it, but I get it. Usually, you kind of have to pick and choose the source. You can't afford to have 2 frenzy because you need them to do all of the things on the team, basically. So you can have 1 frenzy and you can have 1 killer, and then you need a bunch of support Saurus, or otherwise your pitch control kind of falls apart.
I like it though.
I mean,
you have the threat on both sides, right? We talked about that before. Like, if you only have 1 frenzy and you like put them down one side of the pitch to be like, "Look, I'm scary. I'm a surf you," they just go the other way, and then Saurus aren't like they're. I mean, they're movement 6, but they're not movement 8.
In the middle of the pitch,
right?
they can get anywhere, pretty much.
With GFIs and stuff.
Yeah, it's still a threat.
Yep.
I'm just saying you can't afford to be greedy like that with lizards, I think, in the long run.
I suppose.
There's a kind of discussion about AV9 versus AV10 going on. The problem is that you're paying the price for plus armor, which is what, 30k TV, I think, or 30 or 40. And you're gaining a 7% chance, more or less, reduced chance to have your armor broken. It's not really worth the. It doesn't matter if there's no claw. Like, it's just not worth the increased CD for the small increase in
it's because you're going from 9 to 10 is the big thing, right? Like, going from 7 to 8 is a much bigger effect than going from 9 to 10 because of how probability distributions work. But it turns out most players that are armor 7, if they rolled plus armor, probably just want plus move instead.
Yes.
Anyway, some not too much in the skinks. One block skink, which is nice. Block skinks are always great if you can grab them, and then 1 standard diving tackle one.
Yeah, I mean, good skinks in the sense that they're not bloating the team.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
The Saurus are really the focal point of the team.
Yeah, this is a 1650 lizard team, and all of it is in the Saurus, which is really good. Like, it's pretty like quote TV efficient, as it were.
Yes, as TV efficient as lizards get, which is not very.
Hufflepuff Heroes, Khemri.
Yes, my favorite team.
I love this team.
Spoilers, guys, I have a favorite.
I mostly love him because of this triple doubles Tomb Guardian.
Triple double.
Yeah, triple double. He's a basketball player. Blodge tackle Tomb Guardian for some reason. It's amazing.
Triple double is also a coffee order at Tim Hortons.
That's true.
3 sugar, 2 cream. I worked there for a while.
Gross.
It's disgusting.
I mean, you kind of have to have.
It goes cream and sugar for whatever.
I don't remember which is first, but in any case,
it's a cup of diabetes.
Yes. Tim Hortons is like the only coffee ever that I actually do put sugar in, though, because it's bad.
Tim Hortons and like shitty diner coffee, but yeah, pretty much.
Anyway,
so yeah, Tomb Guardians, Mighty Blow, Grab, Guard, real nice stuff. How long has Obliviate been around? Obliviate, a little while. Yeah, I mean, just like really solid team. He's got a really good throw raw. He's got Blodge on him, which is nice. He's got a plus agi skeleton with sure hands as well. So he's got 2 reliable ball carriers. One significantly more reliable than most Khemri ball carriers.
Being agi 3 and sure hands. Yeah.
Yep. Plus strength block skeleton is a lot of TV on a skeleton, but he's also a pretty useful piece for like pitch presence. So
more
nice,
strength,
as long as he doesn't go down.
I mean, the Khemri's biggest strength is that they have a boatload of strength, and that's just more strength. It's just making them stronger in their strengths, and that's great.
Good sentences.
I know. I made that as weird as possible.
We've been talking for hours today already, so we're a little fried. Yeah,
this Tomb Guardian, it's a little unfortunate that he has not a whole lot, but the thing is, with the Mighty Blow block, the Mighty Blow grab, like he's going to be hitting with those ones before he hits with this one, so this one is basically relying on getting a lucky MVP to level up. So
yeah, the old story of Tomb Guardians. I'd like to see Evanesso, whatever, get break tackle. I think it's nice to have a break tackle Tomb Guardian. You can do kind of short range dodge plays. You can do cage dives with them.
Another guard would also be good, though. He only has 2.
It's true. Khemri don't usually need a lot of guard simply because they are strength 5.
But having two guard on the Tomb Guardians means that they can basically partner and then be totally invincible forever. Like it turns out 2 guards strength 5 next to each other is amazing, especially when you're playing the like punch down the center of the field game. So a second one would certainly be useful, but like it's preference at that point, I think, whether you take a second guard or break tackle next.
Agreed.
Good players, man. Like this.
Yeah, it's a really solid team.
Good blitz raws, good throw raws. Like it's a good Khemri team. I like it. I mean, it's a little bloaty because of all the stats and stuff, but and all those doubles, but who cares? It's awesome and I love it.
Next up, we have the Vampires, Bioware for Life by Dire Sick Fish.
Yeah, we have Ball Spawn 2, the vampire that gained 14 SPP in his last match, and has picked up Mighty Blow.
Yep. Sensible. He's already got a Blodge one for carrying the ball on. He'll get, tackle next, or one of these other guys will get tackle next.
Yep.
Vampires can do anything because they have, GSA. GAS, whatever.
They have gas.
Quite. He's got a Blodge Thrall, which is funny. He's got a Wrestle Fend Thrall. Again, like these very annoying Wrestle Thralls are nice. You can still bite them on the ground, so you don't really care if they go down.
Yeah.
And it helps facilitate his fouling, for which he has 2 dirty players. So.
And it helps facilitate Vamps doing Vamp things. If there are players on the ground, that's less players you have to dodge around or hypno gaze or whatever. More open pitches are good for Vamps because they need the ability to maneuver their thralls places so that they can maneuver their vampires and bite them and all that good stuff.
Yep.
And the block on all those Vamps certainly helps because any free reroll or any more reliability skills Vamps have is less rerolls you have to spend on blocks and that kind of stuff, and it's always a good time. And you need those rerolls for key bloodlusts or hypno gazes or what have you.
Truth. And then we have Rouge's Gallery by Mr. J, who has not played their game this week, so they have not really changed much. I think we talked about this before. They should ditch a reroll. Or rerolls, especially on a 70k reroll team with this much reliability built in, is just too much. It's like giving away 70k inducements to your opponent.
Basically, you're very, very infrequently going to use that 4th reroll. Like, I have a hard time using a 3rd reroll a lot of the times on reliable teams like Dwarves.
I mean, even if you use it, you're not getting 70 TV value out of it. It's more the important thing.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, we talked about this team 2 weeks ago, and they haven't played a game yet, so there's no... Or they didn't play the game last week, so there's no real change here.
No, really good-looking Chaos Dwarf team. Lots of good claw piling on player who was unfortunately niggled, but he's still 89 thick skull, so it's not that big of a deal.
Triple claw Mighty Blow is real good for Chaos Dwarves.
I wouldn't want to play this team.
Neither would I. He's got a good blitzer in the Bull Centaur and a good ball carrier in the plus Agi Bull Centaur, so those are... It's a good team. It's a really scary team. I'm glad I don't have to play this.
Then we have the Bad QB Squad by Buzzard295.
Underworld Denizens.
Oh, I love this team too. That's such a gross Warstone troll.
Yeah, block.
And the
block
Skaven
tentacles.
Blitzer with the standard Skaven Blitzer, which I think is exactly what we said last time.
Yeah, the other one does not have the level yet, but he's getting there. One more SPP and he'll be able to pick up something, probably guard, to facilitate the Claw Mighty Blow piling on blitzes.
Prehensile tail on a goblin is interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I mean, I've never seen it. I want to see what it looks like. Weird. Got it.
Yes. And kind of tentacly. I think Diving Tackle does a better job if you wanted to go that route, but it's an interesting build. I like the standard kind of sacking goblin he's building with wrestle horns. Then he's going to get strip ball probably.
Yeah.
Go in and one die something because you've got horns. It's not a bad way to get the ball down.
Yeah, the big hand goblin we talked about last time. Ball recovery. Another a wrestle Skaven lineman. We've got two Skaven throwers basically kitted out for carrying. Yeah, it's a cool team. Underworld is such a cool team. I love Underworld. Stacking Diving Tackle with tail. I have no idea if that works or not, but
it does.
So there you go.
Prehensile tail applies to the dodge when the dodge out is attempted. So if it would make it so like on a wood elf or whatever, it would make it a 3+ dodge, and then you have the option to make it a 5+ dodge. But if I was going to go skills in that order, I would go Diving Tackle first because Diving Tackle is more impactful.
Yeah. Anyway, it's cool. Mutations are cool. Underworld is a sweet looking team. I really like Underworld.
I think I would play Underworld if given the opportunity.
I don't know if I would play Underworld because I think I'd be bad at them, but I think they're such a cool team.
I might play them in like a Chaos Cup or something like that.
Yeah, that could be a good idea. Chaos Time.
Strip Ball is doubles for the Goblin. So was Wrestle for that matter, actually.
That's true.
I forgot they only have Agi access.
We talked about this last time. The Wrestle is a...
Or Agi mutation.
Yeah, the Wrestle is a double. We talked about this last time, and how like we questioned Wrestle over Horns first or whatever, but then we remembered that he was it's general and they need doubles.
Yep. I mean, maybe he's going to get another double. I mean, he's probably going to die really soon and not get those things.
I mean, if he gets another double, he could take Strip Ball or Tackle. If he doesn't, 2 heads probably.
2 heads.
Yeah. Respectable gents, Chaos Time. Shall we?
Come on, grab your friends.
The stat freak Chaos with 1 million
right.
movement.
The movement Chaos. Always fun.
Movement.
The niggled Chaos Warrior is real unfortunate.
Yeah. He's
a strength one isn't unfortunate though. He's lovely. You can give him guard, turn him into just a pillar of strength.
Give him tentacles, man.
It's been a really long day. Yeah, I mean, you eventually give him tentacles, but I think.
I think you just give him.
No,
tentacles.
I think you give tentacles first. You're right.
He already has block. You just give him tentacles, and then give him guard probably afterwards. But he becomes like a beast, a more reliable, faster beast of Nurgle, like less smelly. But tentacles and strength 5 is real good, especially is good in general, and now on a reliable player is even better.
Yep, I'm surprised, as I was last time, that he's not building a killer Beastman, but I don't think he's developed anymore yet. So I think these 2 will probably become killers, but right now they're really speedy tackle pieces with no block.
Yeah,
getting 2 tackle pieces first is, as previously discussed, a little odd.
It's aggressive.
I have had just tackle pieces, and mostly they're filled with sadness.
Yeah, well, because you'll blitz with your block guy, and then you'll get stumbles. And then you'll blitz with the tackles guy, and then you'll get both down, and you'll be like, why?
Yep. Yeah, stand firm, I think I would get after guard, though. It's you really need your Chaos Warriors to support. I think you're never going to get... I mean, it's important to consider what levels you're likely to get on a piece. A Chaos Warrior, that Chaos Warrior in particular, with no kill skills, is probably never going to get beyond level 4. I mean, level 5.
Probably. I mean, he will. It'll just take a very long time.
It'll take an incredibly long time.
REBBL Season 20. Well, we can talk about that a little bit. I mean, Chaos... Welcome, Zerondor, by the way. Chaos, big strength. Just the strength 4 players. The fact that they get mutation access is pretty good. The Beastmen are nice linemen. They're very punchy bashy, hitty team. Although at the start, it's a
They
little
do
rough.
have a lot of variety to them. You can build them a lot of ways, though most people build them as kind of like kill or kill/pitch control, but erring on the side of killing.
They are hard to play early, or at least hard to win with early, but they get very good once you level them up a bit. Elements of Style by MyStays. We got a Wood Elf team, so the elfiest of all elf teams. These guys are very good at ball stuff. Wink.
Moving the ball, taking the ball away from you.
Throwing
That
the ball.
movement 10 catcher just needs to die.
Being speedy. Oh my god, this team is disgusting.
Yep. I mean, it's as we said before, it's basically all catchers. These catchers are grotesque. And then there's like a War Dancer who is meh, and another War Dancer who is plus movement now, which is kind of
natural one turner. And then we've got a Blodge guard sidestep piece, so he's going to be very annoying to knock over, plus being guard. The only downside there is that strength 2. MA is movement points. That's how far they can move. So 8 is very fast. Average is about 6. Got a catcher with block, sidestep, diving tackle, and a niggle, sadly, so he's going to get killed. But that's blodge step again and diving tackle, so a good mark. 2 super annoying catchers. Another guard, so because what we need on Wood Elf team is more guard. The kick
doesn't
piece,
have as much guard as the Wood Elves in our division, though. They have 4, I think.
Yeah. The kick skill is on the guard is a little unfortunate, but you can't really control who you roll doubles on, and you want to take guard on elves certainly.
You'll get kick on someone else when he dies. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, that's true. It's just a little like you want to have your kick guy in the back probably, but you want your guard not really in the back.
Yep.
We got a ball sacking War Dancer, as it were.
Yep, and a tree that has picked up grab to help with those one turns. Not that he needs help, but sometimes the one turner is going to be down, or sometimes you want to take away rolls by pushing the one turner a bit closer at least.
It also helps
easily.
If your tree takes root, because you can grab and keep people on you instead of pushing them away.
Yes, it's true.
And various other things. Grab is just a good tree skill, mostly because they're really slow. So being able to keep players near you or in the position that you want them to helps a lot in order to sort of control and protect your elves with the tree.
Exactly.
Basic
yes,
thrower.
I did mess up those what else?
Not a whole lot on the thrower. Get another War Dancer. This one is not quite as strip ball-y, but it is much faster at movement 9 because what you need is a movement 9 War Dancer.
I mean, they're really nice. Turns out you're often sending them on long journeys around lines. Movement 9 makes it much harder to screen them off because they can run around them a lot easier and they can always cut corners. So War Dancers are always a lot closer to you than you think they are.
And I mean, yeah, leap. You can just jump over a lot of screens. Like that's a very scary mobile piece. And then a wrestle lineman and then a rookie catcher. He lost one of his ridiculous catchers, I guess, and is working on a new one.
Yep. Wrestle on the lineman. I would like dodge more, I think, but
yeah.
It's like kind of a pick your own poison sort of thing.
Wrestle, block, dodge. Pick one of those.
Yep.
Enjoy.
He's still rocking 2 rerolls, the Brave Soul.
Yeah, well, when you have this much dodge, what do you need to reroll?
Fair enough. Eisenmike has been somewhat reduced.
Yeah, and it is Eisenmike. It's been confirmed.
So, who is right?
I don't know. I said both.
No, you're wrong.
Yeah, this team has been reduced a little bit.
Samuel Adams is super dead.
Strength busted, movement busted. Yeah, and a rookie. He has no reason to live anymore. Norse, of course. They are a weird team. They're very good at punching stuff because they start with block all around. The downside is they're all armor 7, so they can collapse and crumple pretty quickly if they take too many hits. But if they...
the good news is it's only his linemen that have evaporated.
That's true.
All of his positionals are alive and doing fine. I mean, he's got a dodge berserker, which is a double. He's got another dodge berserker. He's got a plus agi. This one is plus agi, blodge, tackle, mighty blow.
Yep.
Like, absolutely disgusting.
These are good pieces. Norse, good at sort of controlling, like it's a tempo team, as it were, right? They've got to react to what's going on the pitch. Good at sort of controlling stuff, but if they get too far behind, they're pretty easy to snowball because of all the armor 7. Good.
If they start taking blocks, they lose.
Yeah, but they're good at giving out blocks. Glass cannon. So we got a berserker who's just picked up dodge, as you said, and we got a runner with blodge guard. So that's a movement 8 blodge guard piece, always really good for making your blocks easier. And we've got another runner with blodge plus movement.
There's a lot of doubles on this team. Both those strength skills are doubles on the runners.
Yep.
I mean, the movement is obviously a stat, and the agi. A lot of good rolls.
Block guard Ulf, block Ulf, two really very standard Ulf builds. There are good pieces to have guard on because strength 4, but pick up block so they're a little more reliable. And Mighty Blow Yeti, Mighty Blow Claw is a good
One
combo.
SPP away from maybe block. The dream would be block.
Yeah, if not block, guard probably, maybe.
Yes, guard, yeah. You really don't want your Yeti in contact with people, but sometimes it happens.
It's not an easy choice there. Yep, 3 rerolls. So, Average Rice Joe's, another lizard team, because this is the lizard division. 1430 lizards, coached by Average Rice, of course. And themed off dodgeball. Got guard, stand firm Crocs in what is becoming tradition. Next he will get block, as is the way. Bunchosaurus. One of them is missing next game for his next game, which is a little sad. Being Downosaurus is never a situation you want to be in for any reason, really.
Yeah, at least he's not niggled, so
Yep.
there's always that.
Juggernaut would be a good skill, actually, yeah. Five of them are block. Well, 6 of them are block, but of the one who's not missing next game, we get 5 block, 2 Mighty Blow, 2 guard. Nice little split up there. 2 to Mighty Blow for the removals and development acceleration, and then 2 for the guard pieces. So we'll probably start seeing some stand firm and break tackle, maybe a tackle interspersed amongst those 5 Saurus.
Yeah, I mean, you want to rush tackle at this point. You're pretty late in the game to be picking it up, so dodge is probably a big problem. But he's been winning his games, so obviously he's been managing. The 2 guard is, of course, nice. 3 guard, including the Crocs. He's sort of close to level 3 in the other 2, but once you got block on all of them, it's less of a concern. So he's got the support pieces building, and he's building at least like 1 or 2 blitzers. He might give one of these guys guard as well to like really round out his guard game. Justin Redmond is getting fired if that's a normal, not if it's a double.
Yeah.
If it's a double, he takes block. Yeah, no, I mean, some like decent skinks. He's got one that's lodge step, so a great ball carrier there, and then 2 that diving tackle. He can just throw them on the ball whenever, throw them on annoying players.
Very standard skink progression. Sidestep, diving tackle, fired. Sidestep, diving tackle, fired. Ooh, doubles, block, not fired. Repeat.
Yeah, sometimes you take catch, sometimes you take sprint to help with 1 turns, things like that.
Yep. Plus agi if you can get it. Sure hands potentially if you really want it.
I like sure hands after I have 2 block pieces, which is exactly what I did with my because my skinks are gross and I roll a lot of doubles.
Apparently.
Then we have Rage Dwarf, who has also not played his game, so we're not going to have a ton to talk about here.
Same
has
as
some injuries. Yeah, nothing has changed, I think, since we last looked at this. I think he's played one game since we looked at it.
We would have played week 2, I think, right?
Yes. Oh, no, because this was week 2 and it hasn't played.
Would have played this is from week 1 stuff.
Yes.
But he might not have played the week 1 game when we looked at it. No, we would have. I don't know. Whatever. Dwarves. They're
very dwarfy. They've got a lot of doubles and a plus strength. The blodge strength 4 blitzer is disgusting.
Yep. It's a standard guard spam, some Mighty Blow and stand firm sprinkled about for flavor, and then when you get doubles, you take them. And he's picked up dodge and a couple guys. He's building 1 runner as like the defensive runner, which makes sense. Some dwarf players will do that. You take like wrestle, strip ball, tackle on one, and then the other one will be the ball carrier with block and fend and kickoff return and that sort of thing.
Yeah, these dwarfs are pretty much perfect, honestly.
Yeah, there's a couple like Juggernaut would be good on the Troll Slayer. Or on the Troll Slayers, that runner would like either fend or kickoff return, and then the bottom runner would still like to get probably strip ball if he's using him sort of defensively. But these are all like nice to haves, and there's just a lot of good players here.
Yeah, really solid team.
Yeah, would not be a fun team to play against.
Not surprising that they are 14-3-2.
Surprise! Economy of scale.
has not played their game either. They're the ones with the piling on Saurus that I twitch at every time.
And the plus movement Kroxigor.
The plus movement Kroxigor, particularly named the American Dream, I can live with that. Block Friday is an abomination. Jump up on the palm is nice on the dwarves. The troll slayers are particularly nice, yes. Two block skinks, really good stuff. One is blodge step, awesome. Catch skink, super standard for the one turning. And then a break tackle source and a frenzy source as first skills. Don't love it. I prioritize reliability, but I can see the argument for those two.
It's a theme. It's supply sideline economy. He's the sideline source, so he's got to have frenzy. It's just in the name, man. You don't respect names enough.
I think this is exactly what you said last time.
Probably, but just going to remind everybody out there. Our very own Jeff.
Jeffy Baby, with his heavily diminished team.
There are less players here than last time.
Slightly fewer, yes. It's countable, so it's fewer.
Yeah, sure.
Good. I mean, these war dancers. This one is obviously new. Shrika, 3 matches.
Oh no, a new war dancer. War dancers are the best player in the game as rookies. Basically, they start with blodge, leap, 8-3-4-7. Like, come on.
Yep. The Agi 5 sidestep frenzy is nice. You're never safe.
No.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, pretty good. The catchers are pretty standard. Not a whole lot to talk about there. The thrower is plus Agi, which is always good. Plus Agi accurate means he's, getting into 2+ long bomb territory. I don't think he's quite there. I think it's
and that war dancer, target number 2 is so good. It's just like such a huge surf threat.
Yep. Target number 11, plus strength kick is unfortunate. I think I would have skipped the plus strength, Jeff. It's tough. I might have just picked up guard. I don't know. A Wood Elf lineman is just too disposable, too fragile. Like, you just have to protect you have so many positionals as Wood Elf that, like, when you're doing like a rule of 7 setup or something like that, or rule of 5, I should say, you can't really protect the plus strength guy, and he's just gonna get punched.
Yeah, but he's plus strength, so he's fine.
Yes.
It's harder to block him. Yeah, I mean, plus strength is certainly good. I mean, I would have strongly debated guard there, and it's up to the Wood Elf player certainly to decide which they want, but that's not an easy decision between plus strength and guard, is my opinion.
I skipped plus strength on my Kroxigor, and he immediately got AV busted. So I think skipping plus strength on big guys curses them forever.
Well, yeah, he skipped it on the tree. He picked up block instead, but he's 1 SPP from leveling, so very clearly he was just going to get strength next level anyway.
No, you've already spurned,
You've spurned Oaken Branch the Mighty.
No, Nuffle.
Oh.
Yes.
That's a good... Yeah, the thrower is going to be really good. He's already good. He's only going to get better. Like, if you could roll doubles on him and get, like, the strong arm, oh man, that'd be so... amazing.
That's just basically long bomb silver at that point.
Bong G.
Whatever.
He's good. He will get better. That's a good player. And these elves are certainly good. These catchers, while they're no one-turners, they're certainly good receivers with blodge step and all that good stuff.
Yeah, just standard development.
Good. It's like, of the players that are left, it's a good team.
And then there's the Orc team who hasn't really played their game yet either, but they have the naming scheme I really enjoy.
Orc!
Please stop.
Orc!
The Blitzer that is, wow, just all the skills. And normally you'd expect piling on to have been picked up before guard and stand firm, but kind of an interesting piece there. He's building more support Blitzers.
Yeah, he's definitely support piece.
The plus Agi Blodge one, I would have expected to pick up Sure Hands next over tackle, especially where you're not running the thrower, so you're probably ball carrying on this guy.
Yep.
I think we've talked about that, before, but still, like, really good Blitzer development. Pretty good Black Orc as well. Like, to have block on everyone is really nice. You've got 1 guard and 1 plus strength, so more strength on a pitch control team is always good.
Yeah, a lot of Black Orcs, which is super nice for reliability, and none of them are really too far behind in development because they all have block, which is good. Yeah, like we said, the Blitzers are a little, like, I don't know, non-optimal, I guess. But it's like the Mighty... He clearly built the last one as like a support piece, and Mighty Blow is just like, help me level faster, rather than I'm trying to kill you with this player. So that's how that seems to have ended up. So he doesn't really have a true I'm going to kill you player, but the orc with 4 exclamation marks can sort of double in that role with Mighty Blow Tackle, certainly.
Yeah, not too bad. And that is it for Div 6, so we'll do some predictions.
Yeah. So, well, first we have all orc and no play and respectable gents, but we don't know much about all orc and no play because they didn't play last week. So that's going to be that last orc team that we just looked at, and the chaos with almost all plus movement. I think I'm going to give that to the orcs, assuming they actually play it.
So it's orcs versus respectable gents who are...
The chaos with all the plus movement. The chaos are starting to get there. They have some good punchy skills and block and stuff, but there's a lot of no block, and they're going to get outguarded and outstrengthed pretty easily by the orcs, I think. So
yeah, just out armor valued. Like eventually the attrition is going to go the way of the orcs.
Yeah, and the chaos don't have the sort of kill skills or the support skills to keep up with it yet. Like they're going to be playing a bash game against the orcs, and the orcs are just going to be better at it currently. So I'm going to give that one to the orcs.
Yep, the orcs also have a week of SVP presumably. I don't think Fugu, whatever, is the guy that is holding that up. So
we've got the bad QB squad and elements of style. So that's our Underworld versus MyStay's disgusting Wood Elf team.
Hey, look, the Wood Elves win. Spoilers.
Yeah, that there's 0 tackle on behalf of the Underworld team. I'm gonna give
all
that
that
one
claw
to the Wood
ain't
Elves.
gonna do you anything.
Unless you hit the tree.
The Wood Elves, I guess they will. Yeah, sure. He's gonna lose his tree, but he's gonna lose 4-0.
Yeah.
Or he's gonna win 4-0, I should say.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that to MyStays and the elves. Rouge's Gallery and the Great Cold Ones. Oh dear. So this is Norse. Eisenmike. God damn it. Is Norse, and that really gross Chaos Dwarf team.
Yeah, I don't know if the Chaos Dwarf team is existing.
Yeah, fair enough. So shall we just call this one a pass? Like neither of us will
No,
predict anything?
I'm gonna try to predict it.
Okay.
It's kind of tough. I think if Eisenmike wins the toss, he's in good shape. He's got the tools to cause some early attrition. The Claw Mighty Blow does nothing. Unfortunately, all of the dodge that Eisenmike has also does nothing. It's a tough call, honestly.
Yeah, it's not.
I think I'd give it to the Chorfs, but under the right conditions, the Norse can win.
It's not an easy match for the Norse, certainly.
There's not actually that much Mighty Blow. No, there's 4.
The good news is he'll be able to outrun the Chaos Dwarfs pretty easily.
How do you outrun the plus Agi Bull Centaur and the Strip Ball Bull Centaur, both of which have Break Tackle?
Well, I mean, if you're playing your full Norse team against 2 Bull Centaurs and leaving the Chaos Dwarfs behind in the dust, then that's kind of fine for you, really.
The Norse are also aggressively outguarded in that they have 1, and
We have 2.
Chorfs have. They have 2. Yes, the Chorfs have 5 or 6.
Yeah, it's going to come down a lot to what happens early, I think, right? If the Chaos Dwarfs get a couple good removals at the start, which should be easy for them, it's going to be rough for the Norse, but the Norse can certainly do things to make it hard for the Chorfs. This is really a match where you could play 100 times and 50 times it would go to one side and 50 it would go to the other. It really depends on what happens early.
So what are you calling?
I'm gonna go. I'll make it spicy and go with Norse. Why not? We gotta have some competition somewhere. BioWare for life and the Average Race Joes. So this is the Vamp team that did well this week against
versus Lizards, though. I give this to Lizards. Lizards are really, really good at playing against vampires. Yeah. They can keep up with them. All the strength 4 is really tough for the Vamps to deal with, and the Vamps don't pick up tackle very early, so skinks are hard to deal with. It's just not a good matchup for vampires.
It's really not. It turns out that one of the big strengths of Vamps is that they've got Agi 4 Strength 4 players turns out that lizards have more strength 4 players, and that's good for lizards compared to vamps. Like the vamps have a hard time utilizing their their strengths basically, and the lizards can do nonsense like punching thralls to death the whole time. I will. Yeah, you gotta give this one to the lizards. They're vamps. Vamps can always pull off a weird win because Agi 4, Strength 4, Hypno Gaze nonsense. But it's not a good matchup for the vamps, and they would probably need some nonsense to happen to pull off the win.
Yep, and then we have Rage Dwarf, that nice dwarf team, who will get these MNGs cleared either way. I don't know if they're actually going to play the game, but if they do, those are both just MNGs. Those will get cleared because their week hasn't been rolled yet. Versus Hufflepuff Heroes,
the Khemri.
Woo's lovely Khemri. Honestly, the Dwarves are well equipped to take this team on.
Yeah,
the Blitzers are not going to cause damage. Not really going to be able to cause damage against AV9 Thick Skull. There's so much guard. There's so much Mighty Blow.
Yeah, the
Khemri
Dauntless.
Here.
The Dauntless can counteract the Tomb Guardians a little bit too. The Khemri, it's not impossible for the Khemri, certainly, but I think the Dwarves are favored here, mostly because they just have the tools to be able to deal with the Khemri strengths. And some of the Khemri strengths are nullified a little bit, and the Blitzers won't really be able to do a whole lot. Especially if the Dwarves are good at stacking guard, the Blitzers will have a rough time actually getting good blitzes. And then the Tomb Guardians can probably be shut down pretty easily by... Even if you just say, here, Tomb Guardian, have a Longbeard. The Longbeard is block, only one of those Tomb Guardians is. Sure, the Tomb Guardian is going to get 2 dies on you, but you have Armor 9 Thick Skull. You can just tie up a Tomb Guardian forever, and that's their Strength 5 piece gone for one of your linemen. Hey, Nylock. I think I give this to Dwarves. It's just a good dwarf matchup. We have... What else? Fogmire, Fen Beasts, and Economy of Scale. So this is... Lizard off, right?
I think.
Yep.
Economy of Scale did not schedule their game this week. Fogmire Fenbeast, you said?
Yep. So we've got the slightly less developed lizard team, like the Frenzy first one, the Piling on Saurus, in 1550 lizards, and we have 1650 lizards.
The ones with more developed Saurus are going to win. Spoilers. It's rolling red.
Yeah, it turns out in mirror matches, better developed pieces. It comes down to 2 things: coaches and your key strengths. Who has better strengths, right? Or the lizard strengths. We've got Saurus are obviously very good pieces, and Rolling Red has better Saurus currently, so he will probably win in the Saurus versus Saurus off. And then that leads to giving you advantages in the game, certainly. So I will also go with Fogmire, Fen Beasts, and Rolling Red.
And then we have, as the last match, Dead Restless Society versus Foul Targets. This is Wood Elves versus Lizards.
The 1820 or the 1920 Lizards? 1820 because the MNG. That's a lot of lizard. Although they have two tackle. One of them is tackle Mighty Blow. Umaga, that Saurus, is going to be really critical in this matchup. What does Jeff get for inducements though? Two line elves, which are what, 70k?
I don't think they're that expensive, are they?
They are, yeah. They're 70.
Oh yeah, they are.
So another 140 puts him at 1620. So he's going to get 200k versus the Lizardmen.
So
Wizard and a Babe.
Wood elves fighting. Yeah, I mean Wood elves fighting lizards with a wizard and a babe. I think it's going to be a tough match for Jeff, but I think he's going to win it. I don't know.
It's not easy for him to win. I think
there's a lot of guards, so the cage dives get a little scarier.
Yeah, this is not an easy matchup to predict, really. So
there's a bunch of diving tackle skinks that are going to be kind of annoying.
Sort of traditionally, I guess in a vacuum, Wood Elves are a hard matchup for lizards, but these lizards are really developed, and they're developed in a way that is going to make it hard for the Wood Elves. So they've kind of evened that out a lot. That's not an easy choice, man.
If target number 2 had strip ball or something like that, I'd feel a lot. This is also Wood Elves with no tackle. I just played Wood Elves with no tackle as lizards, and it turns out they really struggle against.
I mean, I think in general, the Wood Elf, like Wood Elf versus Lizard, if someone just said pick a team, I would pick Wood Elves. But seeing these two teams and how much more developed the Lizards are, I'm going to go with the Lizards. I mean, there'll be the Wizard trick, but that only works once, right? And for the rest of the time, you're going to have to be cage diving against Guardsaurus. It's not going to be
spicy.
Easy.
I'll back my boy Jeff.
All right, I'm going to go with the Lizards then. It'll be a good match. That'll be a good one to watch, whether we if we can get it live, or maybe we'll just watch it next week as our we already watched. Did we already watch a Jeff match?
No, we did not.
Okay, yeah, we watched MyStays.
Jeff was like, I spanked some team, watch this, and we were like, no, Jeff, we don't want to watch that.
We watched MyStays game, so maybe that'll be a game that we can take a look at in the next week's review. So those are our predictions for 6, right? Done.
Yep.
7.
Now moving on to Div 7.
So we have to be careful because there's actually already a game that's been played in this week of 7. So if we want to, I don't know what the result is. So if we click through quickly and don't look, we can actually we'll have to see what it is to predict.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, there you go.
We have to predict anyway. So
wow,
we'll do.
Yeah,
we're doing
last week's results.
You like all the 0-1 results?
Yeah, I was going to say that's a lot of 0-1s in a row. 0-1, 0-1, 0-1, 0-1, 0-1, 0-1, 0-1, 0-1, 1-1, 0-1, 0-1, 0-1, 1-1. No, I don't want to. No, okay.
First up is Orcs versus Chaos. We predicted the Orcs would win, but it was a bye, so it doesn't count, though they did win.
Yes.
Looks like Slow. Oh, Slow's on vacation still, right?
Yeah, he was on vacation, missed a few games. He's missed this week, and he might miss next week. We're not sure yet.
And then we have Orcs versus Undead, and we predicted the Orcs, and the Orcs did indeed win. Lord Teton claimed the victory over Morley.
Sad. But we weren't wrong. I mean, we predicted that the Orcs would win against Morley, and the Orcs did win. Normally, it goes the other way when we predict against Morley.
Truth.
So a win for us there.
Then there was Cake versus Not Nylock, I think.
Looks like Morley just got beaten into the ground, though. Like 5 casualties, 1 death, 6 KOs. Like, he took a lot of damage.
Orcs can be mean when they get the dice.
And they certainly were, it looks like.
36 blocks and 12 armor breaks.
Yeah, there was good. Orcs kind of bashed the undead pretty hard, it seems.
Yep. And then we have a Lizard Mirror where I predicted Cake and you predicted Not Nylock, and Not Nylock won.
Oh, so I'm ahead now. Boom. Yeah, so we got another 1-0. 12 armor breaks to 4, which probably spells most of the game right there.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, 52 blocks to 41 blocks, and that was probably just because we had a few injuries early. 2 kills inflicted, 3 injuries inflicted. That did not go well for Cake.
I mean, 3 deaths in total.
2 deaths sustained, 4 casualties sustained, 1 death sustained. That's a violent Lizard game.
It is.
I mean, it involved Cake, and we've seen what Cake's games are like. So I guess that is not unexpected.
Yeah, it looks like Cake just got out-bullied and maybe out-removed. Well, definitely out-removed, and might have just lost control of the game.
Yeah, it turns out if you get out-removed early, especially as lizards, like in a mirror match and you're just down players, Saurus can bully you a lot harder, and it just gets worse. And that's probably what happened is, it snowballs.
Yep, and then we have Nurgle versus Human, I think.
Yeah, Nurgle and Human. And we both predicted Nurgle, and we were both right in another 1-0 win for the Nurgle. MVP on a Rotter is a little sad, but oh well. It's Hydrogen. It's
it's not sad because he rolled doubles for guard. So
it's one of MyStace's Pokemon.
Everyone has a MyStace Pokemon. Yep.
I mean,
even SPP on both sides there. Looks like they both bashed each other a bit.
Nurgle doing Nurgle things though, breaking armor 15 times rather than 8. 3 injuries inflicted, 1 kill inflicted. So he's picked up another Pokemon, it looks like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Nurgle out-bashing the humans a little bit. Turns out Nurgle are a better bash team than humans are. So, there you go. You've got Archangel's Will and Wood United.
So, This was... Oh, it was
admin.
a buy. It doesn't count. Aha! Good.
Because why? Oh, I predicted Archangel's Will. But yeah, it's a buy, so it does not count. MVP on the Word Answer is good, but it doesn't actually get him close to leveling. But it's, hey, free SPP, I guess. 3-0, breaking the trend of 1-0 with Yeti to Conquer versus the Norse Unleashed.
I watched a bit of this game. It very much was a game of who won the coin toss. We had discussed this. Hiroto and I had discussed this before the game started. And Ironmaster won and then proceeded to murderate the entirety of Hiroto's team.
Yeah, we predicted Hiroto, and, well...
7 injuries, 2 kills. Jesus Christ.
This has been a violent week, man. A lot of deaths in this division. But yeah, like, you can see... 75% ball possession, 68% occupation of opponent's half. Like, this was very much Ironmaster just dictating this game. One of those games where, as the losing team, you just can't do anything. Like, no matter what you do, it just doesn't work.
It was like every block resulted in an injury. It was pretty gross.
Yeah, at some point the other team has so much control over you, you literally can't do anything, and that's basically what it looks like it happened.
And the MVP went to Bruhaka, who, when I click on, nothing comes up. So it looks like that player was fired.
Yeah, he got an injury of some kind, so he might be gone.
He is definitely gone.
Well, it's just sad
so
times.
It's minus a point for both of us.
And the Rotting Snatches and the Werewolf of Wall Street
Was a tie when we predicted we were split, so...
How do we score that? Do we both lose points?
0. No, it's a tie, so it's 0.
Right.
So that's the whole point, is we can't predict ties, so that's why they're zeros.
Oh, so that shows you how split this game was. I predicted one way, you predict the other, and they just tie. So perfect.
Yep. Niggled Pestigore gets the MVP, but he's plus Agi, so he's worth keeping
He's
around.
also 4 SPP away from leveling now, so that's a touchdown and a vanity pass, which is...
Damn, that's a lot of SPP on both sides.
Not exactly unreasonable. It certainly is. Any more
Werewolves
deaths?
of Wall Street got some Kaz's going. I'll be right back if you want to finish talking about this one.
5 casualties sustained, 2 KOs sustained, 1 death sustained, 2 Kaz, 2 KOs, a lot of SPP, a lot of deaths, a lot of injuries, even more murderation in REL. Season 9, Division 7. It's like a brutal, brutal matchup. Oh, man. So after that, plus the win from Morley this week, because he's played an extra game like a cheeky little boy. We've got the Rotterhood with Galactic out in front, and then a lot of 1-1s, 1-0-1s. Morley is 2-0-1. So tied up here, but the Galactic hasn't played his game yet this week, so he could still easily be in first with a win or a tie. But looks like the start of the leaderboard is starting to shape up a little bit here. Then jump over into the teams, and we can look at Doof's team after the admin win he got. I don't think he gained any levels from this. So we don't have a whole lot to talk about. Ooh, the Black Orc with the movement bust is annoying. 2 rookie Black Orcs is sad, especially since the other 2 are both block guard. This development gap will probably just continue to get wider, especially since Cormorc McCarthy is likely to get 1 Kaz soon to be level 3. Continued development gap. We've got Orcsker Wild, the disgusting Orc Thrower. We've seen the Strength 4 lineman before. These blitzers are good, though. Like, the Black Orcs are unfortunately split, but these blitzers are nice and like pretty even, and they're good too. Guard block Mighty Blow, guard piling on Mighty Blow tackle. Great blitzer piece there. Got a ball hawk player with tackle, Mighty Blow, strip ball, and frenzy. 2 chances to strip that. When you don't have wrestle, you can't. You need to get another shot at removing the ball sometimes, because you have block. You don't want to take wrestle as well. Another option here would have been Juggernaut instead of frenzy, to sort of force the both down into a push, so that we can then strip off of it. So that could have been an option instead of frenzy, but maybe he'll pick that up next. And then we've got the good support piece, movement 7, blodge, guard, stand firm, can move lots of places very easily, and also provide support with that guard, and then hard to remove with blodge firm. And then we got another ball hawk sort of on the way with wrestle tackle. So
Doof has had a rough time with his Black Orcs based on these 2 that are missing.
Yeah, I talked about that a bit. the basically the split is annoying, right? He lost 2, and now that 2 of them are level 2 and 2 of them are level 0, it's going to be hard to get those level 0 ones sort of caught up, right? And that's the big sad part about that.
Yeah, looking pretty good.
Another Orc team in Lord Teton and the Sons of Sam. Slightly less TV high with 1580 rather than 17 whatever. We also have 2 rookie Black Orcs, though. Looks like people have to pay the Black Orc tax in this div.
Yep.
The 2 that are alive are good, though.
They've been around for 2 and 3 matches, respectively, so the Devastational doing some work out there, I think.
Oops. The 2 that are alive are certainly good, though, with Block Guard and Block Mighty Blow.
Yeah, a lot of Mighty Blow on this team. Very killy.
Spam.
4 Blitzers, yeah.
The Blitzers are also good, too. We got a more dedicated killer piece here with Block Piling On Tackle Pro. Got one who's going that way with just Mighty Blow. We got the support guy with Guard, Stand Firm, and Mighty Blow, of course. And then another mix piece, I guess. He could be either with Tackle, Mighty Blow, and Guard. And then the last one with Guard and Mighty Blow as well.
Yeah, I agree. These are a lot more efficient than Doof's. Doof has always had like a bit of a bloat problem, as discussed.
Yeah, he used to have a troll that was like really super bloaty.
Yep. This orc thrower does most of the things that his does because you're not making crazy passes with orcs.
If you're Doof, you do.
If you're Doof, you do, but you're still passing Dagi 3. But yes, that is his is 50k cheaper, so that does reduce that somewhat.
Yeah, and the kickoff return is definitely a good skill for the thrower. Kind of removes some of that movement 5 penalty. Makes it a lot easier to get to the ball, and you don't have to use all that movement 5 and spend like 3 turns just catching up to your own team.
Yep, and then we have Scaled Measures by Not Nylock, who is rocking some niggles. I know he's had Sharp-Toed Dolphin Noise forever with the niggle, and yellow was a thing he bought off the market. So he bought it with a niggle. I saw it on there, and I was like, no. But
it's an Agi 5 sprint skink, though.
It is an Agi 5 sprint skink, so great for one-turning. Great for everything, really. There's also a plus movement catch skink, which is probably what you're actually one-turning with.
Especially since you got the plus movement after the catch. Like, that's lucky and nice. Like, that's good. Picked up catch, like, I'm going to one-turn on this guy, so I'll take catch. And then you get, like, immediately roll plus movement. Like, great, the universe loves me.
Yep. He's got everything you want in Source, except for one more of them. He bought... Oh, no, never mind. He's got all sets.
There's a
leader and the yellow are both purchased off of the market, so he bought both Saurus, which is good that he had the money to do that. I would ditch a reroll if you're going to be playing like this. I think 4 rerolls with Blizzards at this stage is bloaty, especially when you have you've got a pretty reliable setup here. All of them have block.
Yeah.
2 guard is nice. You'd like 1 more. The break tackle is nice. I tried to pick up another tackle, but like pretty good looking Saurus other than the AV busts and the niggles. I think you should slowly start looking at cycling these. You can't keep AV busted Saurus around that don't serve some greater purpose. Like, these are all normals. Like, I've got a Blodge Guard one, which is nice because Blodge Guard is hard to come by, and I've got Dr. Robert, but...
You just kind of got to go one at a time because you don't want to have too many rookie Saurus if you can help it.
Yeah, I would cycle Sharp-Toed Dolphin Noise first. Blitzers are easy to replace. He doesn't offer you anything unique to the team. You have a lot of block Mighty Blow on it, so I would look to cycle Sharp-Toed Dolphin Noise.
Problem is,
can afford a new one.
He's about to level,
90K,
though. He's 1 SPP from level.
Doesn't matter. You don't want him to level.
Fair enough. Even if he gets, doubles or something? What if he got, plus strength?
I mean, if you got plus strength, I'd keep him. I mean, he's only niggled, I guess. It's not as bad as my armor busted.
Yeah, it's not an easy problem. And it's not...
Yeah, I don't think I would look to cycle the niggled plus strength. I think that's worth keeping around. I would definitely look to cycle the Saurus, because he's going to be taking hits because he's guard and he's AV8 and he has no other defensive skills or doubles. So
yeah,
kind of like long-term goals for the season. Try to cut up some of the injuries. It's one of the unfortunate things about Lizards. It takes forever to build these pieces, though.
Yeah, it's sad, but Sometimes that's the price of being lizards. Every team has got to have a problem to deal with, and having to cycle Saurus like this sometimes is a lizard one. Now we got the Rotterhood in Galactic, currently in first place in this division, with 2-0-0.
His Claw Mighty Blow Pestigore is out MNG'd, so next team will be very happy about that, I'm sure. It's probably Wood Elves or something like that.
We do have a Claw Mighty Blow block Nurgle Warrior, though, which is not quite
they're
as
a
good,
bit
but still
slower, so like you can kind of hide from them a bit easier, but yeah.
Still a good piece. And then we've got the beast that I wish I still had in Guard and Stand Firm.
Yep, and this disgusting Pestigore that is plus movement and plus agi.
Yeah, the Strength 5 is absolutely staying around, but the Armor 8 one is probably the one that you want to look at getting rebuilt.
I mean, I'm at the point where long-term goal for the season is probably try to recycle Dr. Robert, as sad as it is.
No, he's a meme, though.
I know, I just kind of hope he dies, like in some spectacular fashion. Like, the Blodge Guard is worth more than he is, sort of. It's complicated. Like, building a Blitzer is easy, building a Blodge Guard piece is not.
Speaking of Blodge Guard, we're missing the dodge part of that on one of these Nurgle Warriors, but he does have Block Guard and a Strength 4. That's good. One rookie Nurgle Warrior, but he's almost leveled. The movement plus agi block Pestigore is so good, and he's going to be your ball carrier forever. Sure Hands is an option next if you don't roll doubles. If you do, you take dodge. After that, we've got two heads, extra arms, big hand, all reasonable options. Get another killer Pestigore on the way with Block Mighty Blow.
I think Sure Hands is what I'd go next.
I would certainly, yeah, unless you roll doubles and then you take dodge.
Yeah.
But Sure Hands would be next if you just rolled a single skill. And then after that, it becomes a lot more debatable. Depends.
I like two heads. People will often screen off against Nurgle, and two heads means he can ignore tackle zones, basically. There's still 2+ without a built-in reroll because he really needs dodge. You basically pray for that double. Like, the double would be so excellent on Rotmaker Gur.
The double, yeah, I know all too well, Galactic, that Claw Mighty Blow is a lie. Wrestle Pestigore, so he's on the way to being like the ball hawk player, right? He'll get strip ball or tackle next.
Why don't we look at Galactic's statistics page and see that he's caused 29 Kaz and 7 kills in 20 games. Yeah, Claw Mighty Blow is a lie. All right.
It's probably more than my team has cost. And a guard Rotter is really nice. And then a massive Rotter bench because he keeps getting Pokemon. Hydrogen.
Yes,
Hydrogen.
He's got Chubstep.
Killer Clown. Chubstep. Who was Chubstep from? I think Chubstep is on my fantasy team because mostly I picked players that I liked, not players that would actually get me good points. Hence why Streaks Von Underbite is my captain, despite that being the worst choice ever for captain. In reality, I should have picked, a player who's actually likely to earn a lot of points. But it turns out I'm doing all right, surprisingly, despite just sort of picking meme players.
I tried so hard to get Streaks Von Underbite a touchdown versus the Wood Elves. I had, he was down to 2 players, and I was basically just trying over and over again for 4 turns to hand off to Streaks, but he just wouldn't do it. And then, on turn 15, I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to pick it up with my Sure Hands player. I'm out of rerolls. I don't want to lose the game because I can't do this handoff. And, of course, the Sure Hands player rolls a 6 to pick it up, and I'm like, fuck.
Oh, goddamn. Yeah.
Didn't have enough faith.
How dare you. Guard Rotter is really nice, and then, big old bench. A lot of fouling. Probably almost too many, but...
Yeah, I think 1 too many Rotters.
Perhaps, yeah. Could be just maybe a little bit bloaty for being 1690. Like, this team is worth more than mine, and I feel like some of my players are potentially better.
Archangel's Will, 2,000 TV Wood Elves.
Yup.
Where is it? I don't understand.
390k players at the very top.
Yeah. So we've got the Super Blitzer, 2 excellent Blitzer War Dancers. Both have Mighty Blow. Mighty Blow Tackle even. Needs 1 more for piling on. So, getting there.
Oh, no.
Nameless.
I've got a
super
different
catcher,
player
and then-
named Chubstep. I've got a Dark Elf Blitzer named Chubstep because apparently there's a ton of Chubsteps flying around. Yeah.
Whatever.
And also
So
one
he's
of my
got
favorite players I've ever seen, Boat Lord, Lord of Boats. It's a Chaos Dwarf on the TeamSpeak crew. Oh man, I love that name.
Boat Lord, Lord of Boats is a great.
Boat Lord, Lord of Boats version 6. Anyway,
I would fire Enduril. I think it's not worth carrying around a strong arm thrower. I don't think, just for the strong arm double on strength 2.
I mean, strength 2 is scary, but
Also, do you need a 3-player bench as Wood Elves? I don't think you do. I think this is super bloaty.
strong arm accurate though means that those passes are nuts. Like he can do whatever he wants. The only thing he's missing is Agi, really. It's a really good thrower. The strength 2 makes him vulnerable.
Yeah, but it's 140k for a strength 2 player.
You have a 140k strength 2 player.
I have a 190k strength 2 player, but he also has a billion other things.
I mean, I understand firing it. I would also understand not firing it, right? Like, I think there's an argument either way. It's not really nice to rely on the strength 2, but for the most part, he's going to be in the backfield just kind of holding onto the ball, and then as soon as people run at him, he just throws the ball away, and then who cares if he's strength 2? I mean, he's going to get punched and he'll die eventually, but then he's naturally recycled, so it's fine.
I mean, you need as many players as possible, but in the meantime, you're giving away a billion inducements versus yourself. I don't think... I don't know. It's risky business, you know?
Yeah, so apparently he's replacing the thrower, so that answers that question. But that catcher is really good. So having a good thrower to match Nameless the catcher, right, that would be really nice to utilize that, like, nonsense movement 9 Nerves of Steel. A couple really good word answers. Both of them have Mighty Blow. Ugh. But this is... anybody who plays this team and doesn't have tackle is going to have a really bad day.
Dire Sickfish, I mean, being the overdog is better when you're getting value for your TV. If you're just carrying a bunch of expensive linemen that don't do anything, you're not the overdog. You're just bloated. Like, I'm not saying that this is necessarily... I mean, I don't think it needs this much of a bench, and he's going to fire some of them. But that's not being better. That's not being the overdog. That's just having more TV.
If he's... I would probably fire one of the linemen, maybe.
The issue is that what's he going to put on the line? He's going to have to put the Blodge player on the line.
I think that might be the argument for having as much of a bench as he does. Is he doesn't really want to. Well, he has a new thrower, so he's probably going to fire this bottom one.
Yeah, our morally said that he was going to.
Well, he's got Flame of the West as a new thrower, like already on this team. So, yeah, you probably put the Blodge one on the line, and you kind of want to keep these linemen so you don't have to put like your kick one on the line or your guard one. Like it's almost a weird problem to have in that, yeah, you don't really want the bench, but you don't want to expose some of your better players to free hits. And Wood Elves have a lot of positionals, so it's not really that easy to make that decision. Shall we look at Iron Master's Yeti or Yeti to Conquer?
Yeah, the team that just brutalized the other Herodos team.
Look at that thrower. Not only does he actually have a Norse thrower, which is weird, he has a really good Norse thrower.
I think you fire a Niggled guard player on Wood Elves. I was talking to elf coaches about this. Like, he's just going to get hit, and inevitably he's going to put you down players.
Yeah, the guard player is going to get hit for sure. The guard is really valuable, but the Niggle on Armor 7 is such a liability.
It means you're going to get it to use it exactly once a drive before he gets punted.
Yeah. Well, we've got to block Mighty Blow Claw Yeti, so the dream there. Probably Juggernaut next. 2 good Ulfs, both with block, one with guard and one with Mighty Blow. A thrower.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, a thrower. So one leader. Okay, great. Easy pass access for the thrower, so he can save some TV on rerolls. But then this thrower is now worth 210k because he's also got Sure Hands, Strength, Dodge, and Tackle. So when he's on offense, he can carry the ball and be really hard to remove the ball from because he's Sure Hands, Blodge, Strength 4. And then on defense, you can blitz with him because he's Strength 4, Blodge, Tackle. Like, it's just a good player. The niggle is a little unfortunate, but you don't fire that, especially since he's one of your rerolls. Problem is that niggle means he might die, and then you lose one of your rerolls.
Yep, he's definitely like living on the edge with that player. This berserker, disgusting. This
Gross.
He's only got one of each, as we discussed before. One runner, one berserker, one thrower. Well, one thrower is probably recommended, if not 0 throwers. But usually you want to have 2 berserkers and 1 to 2 runners.
The berserkers are just so good. That's why you have them. And this one is even better. Like, this is the berserkers are like naturally predisposed to being like the best killers in the game, because of the block frenzy jump up starting. So all you need to pick up is mighty blow piling on tackle. Boom, every kill skill you can get except for claw, really, but they can't get that.
No, he's a really reliable kill piece. What do you even get after that?
Juggernaut,
probably. Yeah,
maybe. Like, yeah, it's good with frenzy, because you can.
No, you just roll plus strength, easy peasy.
Yeah, the only reason for Juggernaut is to turn is to not have to rely on pro to turn both downs into something, right? So like you turn, especially with frenzy, right? You blitz, you get 2 both downs or a skull both down or whatever.
Your natural server, yeah.
Yeah.
When you 1 in 9, yeah.
Yeah, you can just you can then use the Juggernaut to make it a push and just try again for another POW, basically, without having to use a reroll or a pro. And then at worst case, you have pro. So it's just a good piece.
For sure.
Yeah, Thin Thunder Thighs, the runner. Blodge. He's only got 1 level. Blodge makes sense. Then some mostly standard linemen, picking up tackle first on all the ones that he doesn't have strip ball or dirty player or kick on. No kick, though. But less needed on Norse, but still a good skill. And then 1 plus strength. Take it where you can get it.
Penetrated Igor.
Take the plus strength where you can get it, I guess. And he's grabbed 1 on that lineman as well as on the thrower. 1,800 Norse. And a lot of it is in, like, 4 players.
Yep, and then he's got a really deep bench for fouling. I like that on Norse. Their linemen are pretty cheap and pretty versatile. Yeah. You're going to lose some, so it makes sense to carry a bench, but also you can use them to be aggressive with the fouls, so that's nice.
50k 6337 block is pretty good.
It is indeed.
It's cheap, and you have block for free. The only downside is armor 8, but you can't, or armor 7, but you can't have everything.
You can't.
Werewolf on, unless you're War Dancers. Werewolf on Wall Street, Cunning Fox Pup. 1750 Necro.
Got the Mighty Blow tackle werewolf and the Blodge tackle one. Pretty good wolves.
Yeah, standard in REL. You just get those if you play Necro. Like, come free with the team.
It's only 1 double from 6 levels. That's perfectly average.
2 isn't do they get agi?
They have agi and general access.
Okay, so the dodge isn't a double. Yeah, so
you'd look to recycle runny cut murder.
Runny cut murder, not bitey McStab and slash.
Yes. Murder tackle good.
Standing, not moving much, and brick wall in the way. Both have block and are very close to leveling, so we'll probably see some guard there, I would imagine. And then we have murder tackle good. Probably guard there because we don't have guard on the whites, which is kind of normally where you'll take it on Necro teams here. Instead, he's gone for Mighty Blow tackle piling on, which is good. He's a good killer to back up bitey McStab and slash.
He's only got one guard, and it's a niggled Blodge ghoul who is extremely fun for now and is going to die violently at a stiff breeze. The 2+ movement ghoul is nice. It gives him a 1-turn option that Necro normally don't have. I mean, that's only 2 pushes away from a 1-turn, so pretty easy to pull off.
Yep. No real change since last time, but the flesh golems are a lot closer to leveling now. They're a touchdown if you can pull that off, or a Kaz away for both of them, and then you can have some guard on this team, which will help a lot.
This team needs guard.
It'll help. Like, you have 1, but having more, especially on not fragile players, because this guy's going to die at some point, will help a lot, especially with the wolf blitzes, because you don't win. Guard makes the frenzy block so much easier because you don't have to worry too much about the positioning, because you can kind of just dump guard in there and then blitz with one of the wolves, and as long as you push near the guard, still have another dice.
Yep. And then we have Rotting Snatches, which is a name.
It is. They're all named after characters from the movie Snatch, and they're Nurgle, so rotting. But it's a stretch.
We have a block Mighty Blow Nurgle Warrior plus strength Mighty Blow Claw Nurgle Warrior. I think he existed last time I looked at this team.
Yeah,
Still gross.
That's good.
I imagine he just 1 in 9s constantly.
Yeah, you really want block to stop that 1 in 9, but he's also strength 5, so you really want tentacles, and you can't really get both very easily. I think you go block first. And then...
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of the problem with building Mighty Blow Claw Warriors to start with. So they roll these sort of stats that lead to these cool pieces. It's hard to get the support skills they need because you're running out of levels. I mean, eventually it's just going to take too much SP to really get anywhere.
Yeah, you take block, and that'll help you level up more, and then next level you can get tentacles, probably. But ideally, that is not the... Like, you want the plus strength on your guard support piece, not on the Mighty Blow Claw guy, because getting something like plus strength, tentacles, block, guard, stand firm, like, super annoying. We got a Nurgle Warrior with block, Mighty Blow, and then this next game one, sadly, with block. So he's only going to have 2 like good Nurgle Warriors for his next game. He's also going to be missing his like ball carrier for the next game with the block plus agi tackle.
Yeah, that really sucks. He's going into next game with all of 2 block, and no one to ball carry on. I think I commented before that I really would have liked this tackle player to instead have Sure Hands, but I think he's building him as a bit more of a sacker.
Yeah, he can carry on the blodge guy, but because that guy can also carry. Like, you want to use, you'd like to use the guard because you don't have a lot elsewhere. You have it on the beast, but he's kind of slow. But you need to you want to carry on somebody. Blodge if you can, or block at least if you can. That's a good piece when you have your regular ball carrier. That blodge guard is a really nice piece. The movement bust is unfortunate, but blodge guard is really nice on anybody, really. And a killer Pestigore on the way, only 2 SPP away from being able to pick up block, and then you get tackle. So he'll be nice in a couple games.
And he has 1 Rotter.
Yep. Swiss the third. But he has all his positionals, so like on a Nurgle team with all positionals, you only actually have space for 2 Rotters, but he's got 2 missed next games, so we'll see some loner Rotters for his next one.
Yep. I don't know that I like picking up 4 Pestigores when you're at this level of development. I think you'd want to be a bit more developed before you get your 4th one.
Yes, but I feel like he also took a very heavy beating, as we saw in the match report, and that he may have had more players, especially since that rookie Pestigore is 0. Like, he hasn't played a game yet. He just bought him now to replace one that died. But like, yeah, you could have had the argument of just leaving him alone and gotten some development elsewhere. But like, the player that really needs the development from the Pestigores is that Mighty Blow Claw guy, and he's literally 1 Kaz away from it. So like, getting a touchdown on him is probably not even but the way you'd bother going about it. So getting another one and like starting to carry on him maybe is probably a good plan. So yep. I don't hate picking up the 4th Pestigore.
Then we have Hiroto Sukara. Hiroto.
What?
Who has been utterly brutalized.
What team? There's no team anymore. This is a 1110 Norse team, but 20k of that is in money. So this is a 1090 Norse team. The players he does have are actually not bad, though. So he's got like a bit of a core, but it's going to be a bit before he can build back up, right? The break tackle block Mighty Blow Ulf is really good. Block tackle Ulf is really good. Blitzer is he's got agi and guard, so that's kind of nice, but he's not quite as like fully developed as you'd like, and you're now missing a serious killer because you don't. I imagine we lost the other Blitzer.
Looks like he lost pretty much everything.
There's, the Wood Elf lineman here in OB1D, the movement 7, agi 4, strength 3, armor 7, block sure hands guy. So that's a nice ball carrier / nice lineman in general. Then, 1 dirty player, movement 5 lineman, 2 rookie linemen, and a miss next game runner who's also got guard. So that's a double, and that's a nice double because that's high movement guard. as well as somebody who can naturally get dodge to make them harder to knock over.
Yeah, I mean, he's still got some really good pieces, but man, this is brutal.
Hiroda Sukara, thank you for the follow. Your team has a good core in some good players, but oh man, your next few games are probably going to be rough until you can build this back up a little bit. Because
he's got 170k, so he can buy another berserker or runner.
You probably he can use the lineman
Yeti if you wanted one, though I probably wouldn't at this stage.
I'd buy another berserker and start trying to level up a killer. There is probably what I'd do. So this is just decently. This is easily recoverable, but man, that last game was rough for you. It's you got a good base, and you're not too far off of being able to recover in picking up another berserker and working your way back up. But that last game was certainly not very pleasant for you.
Nope. Next up is Armor Furnace, who has conceded both of his games, so there's nothing to talk about because he has not gained a single SPP. He's a killy chaos team.
He's on vacation. It's not like he's being a jerk or anything. He just hasn't been around, unfortunately. But not much to say because we've already talked about this team, and there has been no changes. So we can look at Luke 4444 and Wood United. Sorry if you watch this later slow, but go back and watch week 1. We'll have the same comments.
So Tree got guard. This is another really heavy Wood Elf team.
So hard
this
to carry.
one, not because they're linemen stacking, though they have a lot of linemen, but mostly they just seem to not be suffering a lot of attrition. That AV6 lineman Maple Leaf is super dead. Fire him immediately.
Yep.
You have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 players, not too bad.
Yeah,
even
fine.
if you go down to 12, it's pretty good. You've got like annoying players to put on the line in the dodge, blodge, lineman, so it's not too bad.
So we've got a strip ball tackle mighty blow ward answer and a tackle sidestep ward answer.
Yeah, I mean, Gambit, I don't know how flings are supposed to beat Wood Elves. Like, I don't think that's a thing.
I was going to say, like, hey, man, look at those ward answers and how good they are, but these are literally just normal ward answers. They've leveled up twice. One of them has leveled up 3 times, and one of those has been a double. So we've got 1 double and 5 skills. Like, look how gross these ward answers are. They're just normal ward answers. They just happen to have levels, though. And, it's not always easy to get levels on Wood Elves sometimes because they can die, and ward answers are such a big target that people will focus on them. Let's see. Let's try to pinpoint out these catchers because they're all over the place. But we've got a good receiver one, Blodge Step with Sure Hands, Sprint, and Nerves of Steel. So he's a great receiver and a good just like runner, as it were, if he's just going to pick up with him. Got one on his way to being a one-turner with plus movement.
Yep.
And where's the other one?
Down here. And like a rake.
Aha.
Just has sure feet and sidestep, so just a kind of generic. I don't like having 2 that are kind of all about moving. I would like one to have blodge just for a bit more, or another one to have blodge rather for reliability.
Yeah, it's when he's gonna you probably throw 2 in the end zone or whatever, and then you just target the one that doesn't have blodge. But then that means he's the one that does have blodge is also the Nerves of Steel one. So if you don't knock him over and just mark him up, he doesn't really care. So that's not bad. He's harder to knock over, so you're tempted to knock over the other one, but he's also easier to catch the ball on if you don't knock him over. So it's a trade there. Got a thrower with dodge, so he no throw skills, but staying on his feet skills, which is probably a good idea, honestly.
I mean, normally the thrower doesn't take hits. I think you don't need to take survival skills on Wood Elf throwers. They hang out in the back, and if anyone ever gets close to hitting them, they hand off or throw it upfield. So I think focusing on getting accurate or accurate is probably the priority.
Dodge isn't bad though. It keeps him on his feet more if you're just carrying with it or whatever.
You don't really carry with Wood Elf. It's not really a thing, right?
I suppose. Bunch of dodge linemen. One of them is plus Agi, and Agi 5 is nonsense, especially on a Wood Elf team. We've got a kick, which is very, very...
yeah, Sure Hands, that one. That's the other thing.
Sure Hands is a good thrower skill, yeah. So that's that Wood Elf team. It's a lot of Elf, and it's not a team that I'd want to play against, really.
Then there's some battered humans who got punched around by Nurgle this week. Though they seem okay. Their blitzers are all around.
The Nurgle got punched pretty hard too, honestly.
It's true. They have a ogre who is still a rookie after how many games? Only 4. Okay, that's normal. Though he has 3 SPP, so has he scored a touchdown? He has.
Touchdown ogre.
Maybe it might have been an admin win. We don't know.
I'm going to imagine that it was like a pass to a desperate pass to an ogre when he was the only scoring threat and he caught it like a hero. It's more likely that it was a touchback or an admin win, but I'm going to pretend that it was something amazing.
Got a guard stand firm blitzer, tackle mighty blow, plus movement frenzy. Movement 8 frenzy pieces are very hard to. It basically threatens to serve from anywhere in the field, so the sidelines are no longer really available to you. We've got a rookie blitzer who has only been around for a couple of games, I imagine, because 14 matches and 4 SPP. That's unfortunate.
Well, a lot of the blitzes and stuff are probably going to the mighty blow or frenzy guy, so he's not going to be able to get as much SPP because the catchers will hog that with their touchdowns and the thrower, I imagine.
Yep, I got a blodge thrower, good for running the ball, maybe doing a bit of short passing to these catchers.
The passing can be a bit of an out, right? Like an emergency, but not necessarily the game plan when you don't have when you're Agi 3 without accurate or anything. So more of a running thrower, but still a good piece. And then you have the out to the blodge catchers.
Yep, a bit unfortunate. He's only got 2 guard. Normally the strength humans have is that they have so much early, easy strength access on like pretty durable pieces. You often see them do a lot of guard early on. He's kind of more specialized, his blitzers, and he's got this one that just refuses to level. I imagine he would get guard as well.
Yeah, I would take guard on him.
Right now he's probably struggling a bit in the pitch control bash department, but his running game is pretty good. He's got a lot of reliability in all this block. And he's very lean because he's suffered a couple of losses. So.
Yeah, he'll get out-bashed by bash teams, but he has the catcher outs and the speed that he can use in that case. He'll get out-elfed certainly, but he has some durability there that he can work on. It's not an easy match to play in most cases because of how this team is progressing so far. But that's the thing with humans is you're never really out. You always have some way of accomplishing something.
Yep. And then we have Cake and Grab with the mighty Mesozoic. The Mesozoic Mighty Men rather. Not a whole lot has changed here. He took tackle first, I think, because he was facing some elfy nonsense on Spinosaurus Stanley. Please fire this skink. You don't want level 3 skinks with 3 normals. It's just bloat.
It's 120k skink.
He's sustained a good bit of death, but I think that was just... also, the skink is disgusting. We'll talk about that in a second. Sustained a bit of death, so he's probably going to want to buy some skinks to flesh out his bench. But you don't want to spend all your money on skinks in case the Saurus dies the next game, and then they're sitting there.
Yeah, I would hold off for your next game because you'll get a loner one anyway, and loner skinks aren't the worst thing in the world. And then just if you win, you'll bump up above 150 pretty high, and then you can burn that extra cash on a new skink. It's probably what I would do. Exactly.
So I would probably spend buy 1 skink here. Maybe keep Carl for 1 more game, but honestly, he's really got to go. Vinny is disgusting. Got 2 doubles for blodge and sure hands and plus movement. That is
a gross skink.
That is a gross skink in the making. All he needs is plus agi, another plus movement, and then plus strength.
Sure, why not? Just give him everything. And it's a lean lizard team. There's the bloaty skink, but minus him, and this is a 1300-ish lizard team, and all of
not a lot to it, right? It's mostly just block on a bunch of things with the plus strength.
To be fair, at that level, that's really all you like. If you play other 1300-esque teams, a whole bunch of Blocksaurus turns out is just really good, right?
But this isn't a fifth. This is currently a. Even if he fires this skink. If he fires this skink, it's a 1490 team because he would lose 120k and then get 260k loners.
Okay, yeah.
It's kind of a mixed bag. It's got a lot of potential for future development, especially in the skink and the plus strength Saurus. But right now, it's suffering a bit from a lack of it has no mighty blow. It doesn't have a reliable tackle piece. It's only got tackle on it. So
yeah, it's got 1 guard, 1 break tackle, a lot of block, a lot of Saurus that are close to leveling. Right, that's 4 away, 5 away, 2 away. right? There's quite a few Saurus that are not that far off of picking up a level, and with a few more Saurus levels, this team will be certainly a lot better. Like 2 or 3 more Saurus levels, and this team's dynamic changes a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Movement 9 Blood Sure Hands is, I mean,
already nonsense.
It's just cheating. It's a cheating skink.
Yeah, and having a few more Saurus levels to not have to rely on that skink so much, some more guard would be certainly really nice to be able to control the pitch a bit and then keep that skink safe.
Then we have Morley's Friendship is Massacre and his Agi Undead.
Yep. And Movement Mummy.
And the Movement Mummy.
I love the Movement Mummy.
Block Guard Mummy is pretty good too.
It really is. These are both really good mummies. Then we've got a Guard Mighty Blow White. Pretty, normal. I mean, the Guard first isn't always a thing you take, but because you take the Guard on the mummies.
0 tackle is worth noting. Undead normally get tackle very early, and he has none of it because he has picked Guard.
And Agi.
Yeah, so I mean, one of these is going to get tackle, absolutely. It's just a
little bit later because he's got different skills first, yeah.
Yeah. So for now, it makes him worse, but it will eventually make him better.
And we've got a great ball carrier in Blodge Agi 4 Sure Hands.
Yeah. Twilight Slaughter is a great ball carrier.
Raj Ghoul is good for defensiveness. Rookie Ghoul, unfortunately, rarity meet 3.0, so this Ghoul has had a rough time of it, and having died several times. Then
played one match, so it hasn't been around long. And then a bunch of zombies and one fouling skeleton.
The meme skeleton, my favorite skeleton.
That's what we say literally every time.
Yeah, I'm going to keep bringing it up. It's entertaining. He's also a meme.
And we have an admin game for Armor Furnace, and that's it for Div 7.
Yeah. Some teams that I certainly would not want to play in that div. So let's take a look at some predictions, shall we? Armor Furnace versus the Norse Unleashed. So it's Armor Furnace and Hero to Sukara. Do we know if Armor Furnace is going to be back for this week? I think he should be.
Sorry, I'm counting.
Counting what?
Points up because I forgot to do it.
Oh. Just add that to the copy paste that you send me of our predictions later.
It is the exact same as last week in that I got 7 points and you got 10.
So we'll move up to 20, 14.
14, yeah, you're wrecking me.
Turns out that the 3-point swing is a big deal.
I don't care. I love it. So yeah, we have Armor Furnace. So Norse.
It's Hero to Sukara's team. Yeah.
Yeah. So the battered Norse versus the Mighty Blow Spam Chaos. I would normally give this to the Chaos.
I think I would too, and that's only because the Norse are so pushed around right now. The Norse do have enough money to pick up another Berserker, which would certainly help, but that Berserker won't have a lot of skills. He's gonna have to play weird like Elf Norse because he doesn't really have any removal skills, but he has a lot of movement and agi available to him. But I feel like that, trying to play the I'm not removing you game as Norse against a Chaos team who is trying to remove you might go to Chaos removals.
Yeah, I mean, he's just not going to have a bench either, so he's going to run through. He's going to run the Norse, or the Chaos rather, are going to chew through the loners really quickly.
Yeah, I think if this was last week, before this team got destroyed, I would have given it to the Norse. But I think Hiroto has a few matches of rebuilding coming his way before we start to see some amazing results again. We've got Rotting Snatches and Wood United, so that's the beat up Nurgle team.
The super battered Nurgle team
against the monstrous Wood Elf team.
Yeah, so the Wood Elves are gonna pick this apart. There's no plus Agi ball carrier, so he's gonna have to carry on someone less optimal.
No sure hands, and only one guard to or two guard potentially, but one of them being the Beast of Nurgle to protect against the sure hands. Means the War Dancers are going to be able to pull off some nonsense, whatever they want. No tackle available for the Nurgle. Maybe with some really good beast placement we could, and then have elves stuck there, and then utilize Mighty Blow to try to remove some of the numbers. But that's a big what if.
They are going to get 1 billion TV in inducements, but Nurgle star players are terrible.
Yep.
And like you're gonna get a wizard, you're gonna get maybe some rotters for fouling, and then what? Or you're gonna get a bribe.
Yeah,
but,
well,
like,
the problem, like I would say, like induce a Pestigore with tackle, but I don't think he can because he has 4. One of them is missed next game, so I don't know if that counts.
you can induce one, I think.
So he could induce a Pestigore with tackle. It's probably a good option.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But I think I want to give that to the Wood Elves.
Agreed.
Werewolf of Wall Street and the Crawdad Zydeco experience. So that's the humans
versus the super swole Necro.
A lot of block on the humans. 2 guard, 1 mighty blow.
Yeah, the Necro are lucky. The human do not have more guard. It would make it more problematic. But as is, I want to give this to the Necro. Humans are going to get a lot of inducements. Yeah, they could do Griff Ball, I think.
How much is Griff? 13, because 1390. Do they need a?
They have no loners because they've got a bench of 1 and they're missing 1.
So no loners. They'll be at exactly 1390. So they'll be getting what? 310, 360. I think that's Griff Ball, right? Let me look this up.
I'm looking it up fast.
He is 320, so you can get Griff and 40k, right? So Griff and a Babe if you're willing to scum 10k.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Griff is so good. Griff by himself it brings us a lot more into question, honestly.
Yep, I mean it's a 7-4-4-8 player with block, built-in dodge rerolls, fend, sprint, built-in sure feed. So
it's going to be hard to remove it's going to be hard to remove the ball from him, and he can basically chalk that up to like humans go up 1-0 at the start because he's going to be able to score with Griff like really easily. Do we think though that the humans can outlast the like Necro removals to the point where that they can actually keep a lead that they get from Griff though? I think is the question here.
I mean, Griff is going to make it harder for the Necro, but the Necro have decent tools for dealing with him, and if they can take him down with the tackle Mighty Blow piling on White or the Mighty Blow tackle Werewolves, then like that's 320k down the drain. And I don't know that the humans have the skills to support Griff necessarily. Like, I want to give this to the Necro, but it'd be a good match, I think, actually. I'd want to watch it.
So would I. I want to give it to the Necro too, but if these humans had like... It's almost like if these humans had like 40k more in skills, it would be less favored for them because it would be harder to get Griff, and I think Griff makes such a big difference in this matchup. But I think based on where these humans are currently sitting, that the Necro are probably going to take it even with Griff. It's just going to be closer than you'd expect for a Necro versus human match with this much TV difference. So we have Yeti to Conquer and the Mesozoic Mighty Men. So this is Kakengrad, and we've got Iron Master's 1800 Monstrous Norse.
Oh, the Norse are going to destroy that.
I think I would give that to Lizards as well, mostly because Cake is missing some stuff.
You mean to Norse, but yes.
That's what I mean. Norse.
The Iron Master's team is very good at facing Lizards, especially Lizards that do not have a lot of the core skills yet. I mean, they have the exact same amount of guard, and the removal potential on the side of the Norse is, immensely higher. You're going to see a Claw Mighty Blow hit on the line, into a foul on the line, like a gang foul.
Like every
into
turn.
A blitz. Yeah, into a Mighty Blow piling on blitz. Like, it's going to be, you have the potential to face some serious removals.
Yeah, the Claw Mighty Blow Yeti is going to be actually really good against those Saurus. So I'm gonna go with Norse. Cake is gonna get what 300k.
So Slibbly, that does help.
Yeah, it does help because that is another guard. But
no, he's not 300k unless he ditches Carl. He's only gonna get 240. That's still Slibbly because Slibbly's 250. You can just scum 10k for him.
Right, yeah, he has a loner skink. I forgot about that. I think I still give it to the Norse.
Yeah,
we've seen what Iron Master's team can do to other teams. Archangel's Will and Friendship is Massacre already happened, so we'll cover that next week. the Rotterhood, and the Orcs. So this is Galactic, the undefeated Nurgle so far, versus Doof's Orcs.
So Galactic has only one Claw Mighty Blow for this, so Doof is definitely pleased by that. They are similar TVs. Does Galactic have 11 players? Galactic has way more than 11 players.
He has a lot of players. He can reduce that some if he wants to save TV, but he can also just have a massive bench and foul the bejesus out of the Orcs if he wants.
So Doof has him aggressively outguarded, I think. Doof has 4 guard. Doof has him outstrengthed. Doof has him similarly Mighty Blowed, and there's a Mighty Blow piling on, but they have Claw.
Yeah.
This could go either way. I think I want to give it to Galactic, but it could be a good one to watch.
Yeah. This is not an easy match to predict. Oh gosh.
Do you want to back our boy Doof for a showdown? We haven't had any showdowns this.
I think I have to. I mean, there's a lot of things going into this that make it very hard for me to decide. Like, the coaches matter a lot. Like, Galactic is really good. Like, he was he was a college champion. He's only lost 3 times and won or tied 17 with this Nurgle, which is a really good Nurgle record. So like that has a lot going for him, right? Like he's very clearly a good coach and knows how to play Nurgle. If it was me, Doof is also a great coach. If it were me though, like if I could pick one of those 2 teams to play and like play against myself, I think I'd rather have the Orc team. But like Galactic is very clearly shown that he knows how to play those Nurgle very well. So it's a really hard decision. And I mean, sure, let's go with Doof for the spice. I've got a bit of a lead. I can afford an iffy guess, right? But like, yeah, that's not an easy one to predict, honestly.
And then we have Lord
for a lot of reasons.
Killy Orcs, lean Killy Orcs versus not Nylocks, kind of battered lizards. No, they're not that battered anymore.
Why can't I find them? Oh, they're right next to each other. I'm an idiot. I'm also very tired. Oh my god. This has been such a long day for me. I even ran errands at lunchtime on top of all this.
So the Orcs have them outguarded, as you'd expect, though a bunch of it is on Blitzers. The problem with having a lot of guard on Blitzers versus Lizards is that Lizards get natural 2-dies against Blitzers, so unless they're backed up with more Blitzers that aren't standing in Lizard guard, the Lizards can just punch you. So he's pretty well set up for that there. Javan DeBreakenjaw Jr. is going to die in this game.
Probably.
He's gonna eat Mighty Blow hits. He's armor 8. He's gonna die. This, I think I want to give this to the Orcs. Orcs are traditionally, or Lizards are traditionally, Lizards traditionally struggle against Orcs, especially at this stage when the Orcs are just kind of min-maxed well, and the Lizards are still trying to get those basic skills. There's obviously a chance. He's got a pretty good pitch control set up here. He's got 2 guard. He's got a block on all of his players, including the Croxagore. He's got a really good plus movement skink. He's got the plus agi skink that can do just stupid nonsense. But Lord Titan, like, also has a really great setup.
I think the biggest thing for me that is going to decide or help with this is that there are 2 Black Orcs that are rookies. So like we have 2 Black Orc, like we have 4 Black Orcs to try and match the Saurus strength, and 2 of them are really good at that, both with block, one with guard. But those 2 rookies, or the two rookie Black Orcs, don't really help you that much against the Saurus. It's going to be hard to like utilize them well. Like normally their Black Orc strength is, yeah, look, I'm strong, even if they don't have skills. But Lizards don't care about that, so they're not really that helpful. So we're going to rely on these Blitzers a lot. And if those Blitzers can get good skink hits with like the Tackle Mighty Blow, they'll certainly be able to swing the game in their favor. But if not, Lilac does well at positioning his Saurus and stuff, it's going to be surprisingly difficult, I think, for the Orcs to actually like break through on offense.
Yes. If I were not Nylak, I would seriously consider ditching a reroll before this game. It would really cut into the inducements you're about to give away. Because right now you're giving away wizard territory. which the Orcs don't really have a good way of taking advantage of, but you never want to eat a bolt on your Agi 5 skink.
Yeah. How much are lizard rerolls?
Lizard rerolls are 60k.
Okay, so it'd be 1620, which would put you...
plus 60 for a loner skink. So he's going to be at 1680.
Right, okay.
If he doesn't, he's going to be at 1740, which is 140k? No, 160k.
He's currently at 100, yeah. So for Orcs, that's, I mean, basically babes, probably. You don't want to go down against lizards, really. If you lose...
Oh, no, you'd go wizard. Or you'd go bribe. You could go bribe babe.
Well, at 100k, I mean, if you fired the skink.
Oh,
or lost the reroll, I mean.
You'd go bribe.
One bribe?
Yeah, one bribe. They have a bench of 12, so they can't really afford to do too much fouling. But fouls against lizards, like fouls on Saurus, fouls on Crocs, are really valuable. And Lord Teton likes to foul as Orcs. He fouled Clemando the First to death, in fact. So I think if you've got 100k, in the end, you go bribe.
Right. So where are you going with this one then?
I think the Orcs are going.
Yeah. I'm like I went back and forth in my mind about 5 times on this over our conversation. This is another not very easy match to predict.
Yeah, I mean, I said it with some amount of certainty, but I think it's actually pretty close.
Yeah, well, like initially I was thinking a lot of the time when we do these predictions, I'll have like a gut instinct and I just go with that one. This time my gut instinct flip-flopped on me like 4 times. So it's a very, very close match, and especially with that Agi 5 skink, you can never count out a lizard team, as you know very well.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't screen him.
So you can, with once again, with luck, it could always go to the lizards no matter how this game goes. But I think, you know, in the long run, if this game was played a whole bunch of times, I'd have to give the edge to the Orcs as well. After having changed my mind about 4 times, we'll go with the Orcs.
You hedged your bets a little bit there.
No, just explaining to the people why I think it's so close, and that this is like a lot of the times. When I think it's close, I still have an idea of who I think it's going to, but literally this time I changed my mind about 3 or 4 times during our conversation. Like, that's how close I think this one is.
Yeah, that's fair. Anyway, that is it for us, and I am dead. So
me too.
I'm going to stop talking forever.
I have been basically talking for 6.5 hours immediately after work. And on my lunch break at work, I did errands instead of like actually going to lunch. So I'm going to go die, probably. But thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. I've been Steakmittens.
And I'm Shadorra.